There is a space that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. A space that feels uncomfortable, uncertain, sometimes even confusing. And yet, it is the most intelligent space we have access to. Not intelligence in the way we were taught, not logic. A kind of inner knowing that only becomes available when we stop trying to resolve everything. In Show Me, we call it the space, the gap, the space between two truths, the space between two opposite forces, the space between what feels right and what also feels right. For example, if you think about it, two paradigms that contradict each other, like I want to be a good mother and I want to be a successful woman. Both feels right? So most of us were trained to choose, to decide what is correct and reject what is not. To create clarity by eliminating contradiction. But what if clarity doesn't come from choosing? What if clarity comes from holding? Holding the tension, holding the paradox, holding both sides without rushing to resolve them. Because something very powerful happens there when you stand in the gap, not collapsing into sides and not escaping the discomfort. You begin to access a different kind of intelligence. You begin to listen, not to the noise outside, not to the conditioned answers, but to something inside of you that is always known. In Show Me, this is where the work begins. Not by fixing, not by solving, by training ourselves to stay in the middle, to feel both, to allow both, to recognize that you can be strong and soft, certain and questioning, in control and letting go. You can feel grief and gratitude at the same time. You can feel fear and still move forward. The fear of failure, the reputation of the word failure in the Western eyes, a place that drastically doesn't serve humanity. We need to learn how to fail. We need to learn how to fail. In order to move forward, we need to learn how to fail. We need to embrace failure. And we can really also need to learn how to work with judgment, because when we judge, when we fail, we immediately connecting it more and more into the equation in our mindset that we're not loved. It's coming from the roots of society codes. It's coming from our parents that when we started to walk, yes, they encouraged us, but when it's starting in 2 years old, when we are starting to fall, and the reaction is there, and we are starting to wire there in 2 years old that when we fail, there is a judgment that connects to rejection and unloved. That's how we trained. That's how society taught us. So yeah, you can feel fear and still move forward. You can hold boundaries and still have an open, generous heart. This is not confusion. This is not confusion. This is an expansion. The nervous system doesn't always like it because the immature mind, the untrained mind, needs certainty. It needs one thing to be right so something else can be wrong. It needs to close the gap as quickly as possible. And this is where most of our suffering begins. Because when we rush to resolve the paradox, we disconnect from something essential. We disconnect from our intuition, from our inner wisdom, from the deeper intelligence that only lives in the space of both. So in Show Me, we don't teach people what to think, we teach people how to hold space, how to stay present inside the gap. We do this through a structured process, 12 weeks of coaching journey that works like a game, because when you're playing, you're more open, you're less defensive, more curious. And curiosity is the doorway into the gap. Week by week, we train the ability to recognize patterns, to unravel limiting beliefs, and most importantly, to sit in the space. The moment you don't rush to answer, something else appears, a new thought, a new connection, a new pathway. This is where integration happens. This is where the masculine and the feminine begins to meet, the structure and the flow, the logic and the intuition, the doing and the being. So by coaching the mind, the reasonable mind, first of all, to get connected to the information from the reasonable mind, that opens up and brings it to a different level, and some kind of a connection to the heart, deeper level of intelligence. And this is the part that changes everything, because once a person learns how to stay in the gap, they are no longer controlled by their automatic reaction, and they don't collapse into fear. They don't cling into that certainty. They begin to respond from a deeper place, a wiser place, a place that can see more, hold more, be more. And from that place, they start creating new reality, not by force, not by control. Connection to themselves, connection to truth, connection to life as it is. So what looks like paradox is actually a gateway. What feels like tension is actually intelligence. What feels like, I don't know, it's often the beginning of real knowing. And maybe, just maybe, the wisdom we are all searching for is not something we need to find. It's something we need to access. The moment we stop choosing sides and allow ourselves to stand in the middle. That's where everything begins.